So here we are. It's actually happening. This is for all my clients who've asked me to release this technique as a video. Um, you'll probably notice that I don't really like recording myself. So if you pick up on the fact that I'm not at ease on the camera, just try and look past that and see if you can drop into the technique, the somatic technique that's gonna unfold here. So for those of you who've just kind of landed on this, what this is essentially, it's a somatic experiencing technique to allow you to drop into an emotion or a feeling and get to know it as a sensation, and ultimately to change the way you view it so that you begin to be a bit more at ease with it, potentially releasing it, or at the very least realizing that you can hold it without it taking you over. And the idea is moving towards eventually accepting it, because the moment we accept a feeling, whether it's anxiety, some kind of distress, whatever it is, the moment we accept a discomfort and we stop resisting it, the body will naturally process it. And we break the cycle of the story we see or we think we see, the body reacting, and from that reaction the mind tells another story which then panics the body. I'm not okay, we're not okay, and the body then reacting again in this endless loop. We want to catch the feeling and we want to dissipate it exactly where it is, and it's an acceptance game ultimately. And the way we do that is I'll guide us into feeling something wherever it is in the body, whatever's alive for you at the moment, and then I'll ask questions. Some might make sense, some might not make sense. Doesn't really matter. There is a bit of an IFS theme to this as well, internal family systems. So, but ultimately it's somatic, and what we want to do is we want to bring up something. So I'll invite you to bring up something that you do want to work on, or maybe you're watching this because there's something present for you right now. We'll start with a grounding exercise, which is about 10 minutes, and then jump into the actual release, which 35 minutes. We'll see how it goes. And so in this grounding exercise that we'll do, sometimes the feeling goes anyway. And so if you want to really work on the feeling itself, and if you feel like the grounding exercise is not helpful for you, you can just skip. I'll probably put in the link where the grounding ends, and you can jump straight to the exercise. So I'm going to start now with the grounding, and the invitation here is to just breathe nice and easy into your belly. Just start where you are now, sitting comfortably. Hopefully you're sitting comfortably, and just let that breath drop all the way down into your belly. And throughout this exercise, I'll remind you relentlessly to come back to breathing into your belly at whatever pace is present for you, through your nose or your mouth. I'm not too fussed. Whatever's comfortable right now. Just let the breath drop all the way down. That's activating the vagus nerve, which is bringing your nervous system over into a rest and restore, rest and digest, I'm safe, I'm okay stance. So even as you breathe now, you might just begin to notice a little shift beginning. So just as you are, sitting comfortably, and you do this with your eyes open or closed. If your eyes are open, just a sort of soft focus. But I want you to imagine a beam of white light shining down on the top of your head, right onto that soft spot you had when you were a baby, the fontanelle. Imagine this beam of light, about the size of a £2 coin, or an inch, let's just say. And where that light strikes the top of your head, zoom in on that, and you might just begin to sense a little kind of prickling sensation on the scalp. It's quite a sensitive area. And I want you to follow this light as it travels its way through your body, and I'll guide it. If you can't see the light, that's fine. Just follow the areas that I'm pointing to with my guiding and notice what's there. But for now, just watch that light as it effortlessly permeates through your skull, dropping down into your head. And follow it as it moves down in between your temples, noticing what's happening in your temples. And as it spreads and moves around your forehead and around behind your eyebrows, behind your eyes, maybe softening the brow. And as that light begins to move down through around your nose, your cheeks and your jaw, just notice what it feels like in there, in and around your teeth. Nothing you need to do with anything you find, just at this point noticing what's alive in your body. And as that light begins to move around the back of your head, notice what's going on back there. As you breathe nice and easy into your belly. And as that light begins to gather and pool at the back of your throat, just take a moment to realize or to notice what's happening in your head. What's it like in there, filled with this light and these feelings. And as that light begins to pour its way down your throat, become aware of the sensations that are going on in your neck. As that light moves down through the neck, just notice, are there sensations about things you wanted to say but couldn't say? Is there a feeling in there of that? Nothing you have to do with it, you're just noticing. And as that light opens out into your upper chest and your shoulders, notice what it's like in your shoulders. What are you carrying there? Again, nothing to do with it, just being aware. And follow that light now as it moves down both arms at the same time, moving down through the biceps, flooding its way through around your elbows and your wrists, down through your hand, both hands, and all the way to the tips of your fingers. And at this point, just notice, take like a view of your arms just as they are, hanging off your shoulders as they are, filled with this light in your awareness. Especially your hands, you get a sense of them needing to do anything. And bringing your awareness again back to the top of your chest and following that light as it begins to bubble and percolate its way down through your lungs and your rib cage and around your spine. What is it like in your upper torso? And as that light begins to move its way down through the diaphragm, easing its way into the belly, where your breath continues to drop nice and easy, just notice what's going on in your belly. What are the sensations that are going on in there? And follow that light as it continues to move its way down into your hips and your tailbone. Noticing if you had a tail, would it be curled up, or would it be free and flapping around? And also in your hips, how they support you. What's going on in there? And continue to follow that light as it moves down both legs at the same time, down through the thighs, over the knees, and pouring down your shins, past the ankles, and gathering and pooling in your feet, moving all the way to the tips of your toes. And at this point, I want you to notice how that light begins to form roots that push their way down through the bottom of your feet, as well as through your tailbone, like a taproot. And follow this, or these roots of white light, as they move their way down through the floorboards, any layers of flooring, any levels. Effortlessly and easily, these roots snake their way down and down until they make contact with the earth. And where they make contact with the earth, they effortlessly and easily begin to spiral and snake their way through the earth, making their way inwards, moving through the earth, through all the layers of the earth, working their way through the crust of the earth, and all the way down into the fiery, molten core of the earth, into a source of life, creativity, and into what could be referred to as the sacred feminine. And just notice yourself as you are plugged in this way into the earth. Notice what that feels like. And bring your awareness now back to the top of your head, where that white light, that pillar of white light that was shining down on the top of your head, is in fact a tree which is growing up out the top of your head. And follow this tree of white light as it moves up out the top of your head, out through the ceiling or the roof, out into the sky, up past the birds, past the clouds. Send that tree all the way up, past the atmosphere, and out into space. And notice that as that tree breaks its way out into space, it begins to branch off and follow, or rather send, these branches of white light all the way out of the solar system, past the planets, out past the galaxy with tremendous speed, sending these branches all the way out into deep space. And in an instant, I want you to send those branches with purpose all the way out to the edges of space itself, caressing the edges of infinity, connecting you to the untapped wisdom of the unknown. Into what's been referred to as the sacred masculine. And just notice what it's like to be connected in this way, even if just briefly. And bring your awareness now back to your body and take a snapshot view of yourself just as you are. Plugged in on one end into the earth, connected to the sacred feminine, and connected on the other end to the endless unknown, into the sacred masculine. And here you are, just in the middle, just where you need to be. And from this position, I want you to become aware of whichever areas in your body you feel you are holding something, a tension, a sense of something being there. Have a little look around your inner system. Maybe what you noticed when you were doing the scan. Maybe if you can't sense anything after that body scan, you can, if you want to, bring up a situation that's troubling you. See it play out and allow the sensations to rise up inside you. And wherever you're feeling something, whatever it is, just move there now with your awareness and see if you can figure out what sort of shape those sensations are taking up inside you. And if you're feeling sensations in more than one area in your body, that's fine. Just pick one. Maybe pick the noisiest if you feel like looking at that one. But try and figure out the shape of it. Once you've got an idea of the shape of it or the rough volume of it, and sometimes these appear as solid shapes, sometimes it's quite nebulous, smoky or ethereal, whatever it is, just get a vague idea of it. We just want to put as much meat on the bones as possible here. So, when you get an idea of the shape of it, just drop your awareness into that shape and see if you can pick out as many sensations as possible. Remembering to breathe nice and easy all the way down into the belly. You see what sensations are going on in there. Now, most likely there's more than one sensation in there, so it may feel, if you pick out an emotion, that's fine. But drop down past the emotion into the actual sensation. Maybe it feels jittery, or edgy, or buzzy, or tingly. Maybe there's a weight to it. Does it feel heavy or light? It could also be a temperature. Maybe it feels a little warm or a little cold. Could even feel a little sharp or a little dull. Whatever the sensations are, they'll be unique to you. If you get a sense of, am I doing this right? There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just your experience. It'll sharpen with awareness, so whatever comes up for you, it's what it's for you. And just go with it. If it could take up a color, what color would it be? Now, if this shape with these feelings and in this color, if it could reach up to your voice box or down to your voice box, if it could connect with your voice box and speak, what would it say? Or what noise would it make? And how does the rest of your system feel about that? What's the sense you get? And at this point, if you get a sense of, I don't want this here, I don't like this, like resistance, I want this gone, this is an opportunity or invitation to see if you can soften that part of you that says, I don't know. See if you can ask it to move back a little, or settle, or soften, just so we can work on this part that we're focusing on here. Because what I want to do now is, just being curious about it, I want you to invite that shape within you to grow. I want you to allow it in, to welcome it into your body. Now, it's important here that you're not forcing it to grow. It's more about making your body into a playground that would welcome it to move into these spaces. It's very much the game of allowing. So, to what extent can you allow this shape to grow? And it can be helpful at this point to notice that there is an I who is allowing this. There's an I who is watching this. I am not this. I'm just allowing it. I'm the captain of this ship, and I let it in. And it's okay if it doesn't want to move, if it doesn't want to grow. In fact, it's fine even if it shrinks up a little tighter. You can just sit with it, keep focusing on it, give it the gift of your awareness. You can even imagine putting your arm around it. But if it does want to move, you can take it by the hand and walk with it through your body. Just noticing what your body feels like as it moves into those spaces. Notice how the shape or the quality of it changes, if it does at all. Like, really be curious about it. How much of this can I allow? To what extent can I surrender to this? To what extent do I trust that I'll be okay if I allow this? As you continue to breathe nice and easy into your belly. At this point, you could ask this shape, this sensation, wherever it is, you could ask it how old it is. and see if any age bubbles up. Or you could ask it how old it thinks you are. And if there's a discrepancy in the age, maybe you could tell it how old you actually are. And if none of these questions seem to resonate with it, that's fine. Keeps you focused. Another question to ask yourself is, what is it about me that needs to be true in order for me to experience this, or for me to have this feeling? So what is it about me that needs to be true for me to be feeling this right now? And what I want you to do, I want you to separate a little bit of your awareness out and find your heart within your chest. And once you've got it, you can feel the energy of it or the weight of it. You can even put your hand on your chest if it helps. But once you've found your heart, I want you to form a connection between your heart and the shape, the sensations. Wherever it is now and however it is, it's fine. You can do that. You could imagine a tube or a cable or a thread or a ribbon or a tendril. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. Just connect them together. And once they connect, just notice, again being curious, notice if anything flows from the shape into your heart or from your heart into the shape or nothing. Either way, just watching. And for this kind of work, the heart is infinitely big. Can take anything. Now, as you're watching, there are 4 phrases I'd like you to repeat in your head, in your mind, speaking to the shape. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. And just repeat that a few more times. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Maybe even noticing how each of those lands. Some might feel different, most likely some will feel different. It might give you a clue as to which parts you're struggling with. I'm sorry that this situation is unfolding within me. I never meant for it to happen. It's not my fault, but it's my responsibility to deal with, so forgive me. Thank you for being there, for trying to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Thank you. But I'm here now. As the captain of this ship, I'm here and I've got this. You're welcome to step back, and I love you. as you breathe nice and easy into your belly. You can repeat that a few more times. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Now, at this point, if you notice a feeling of, I don't know, maybe lightness or spaciousness or a bit of wiggle room has been created, and it's fine if it hasn't. You can just keep focusing on the sensations. That's good. But if you do notice a little bit of that spaciousness within that space, maybe where the I lives who is observing this, or however it's playing out for you, but just notice that sense of lightness. And if you've got it, I want you to see if you can let that go. And by let go, one of the ways is you kind of allow it in and let it be, let it go. You're almost approaching it from a place of disinterest, not attaching to it. Too often we attach to the good stuff. We want to get rid of the bad stuff, but we attach to the good stuff. See if you can let go of that as well, and see what emerges once you do that. And take a few more nice, easy breaths into your belly. Treating this whole exercise as an experiment of curiosity and allowing no expectation. And as experiments go, I noticed that it is significantly shorter than I expected, so that's a bit of a surprise. But when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, you can come back to the room, moving your fingers and your toes a little. Noticing what's different about you, what's changed. Are you the same person who sat down at the start? And the invitation here is to really look after yourself now, because if things have shifted, sometimes these various parts of us, they can be quite clingy, and if there has been something that's shifted, the other parts can react a little to that. So you may find yourself feeling a little vulnerable or sensitive in the coming hours or days, and that's okay. If you notice stuff coming up, those 4 phrases, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you, from Ho'oponopono, just speak to those sensations. Really set up a dialogue with them and say those 4 phrases over and over and over. You want to disconnect the resistance you have towards them. Here they are, that's fine. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Just be with them. Thanks for doing this with me.